This is Spoken by Elswith, a femdom hypnosis podcast, Season 4. Today's episode is a bit rambly. It is about my idea of a utopian setting, but but like most of my ideas, this is not one set in stone. This is just what I came up with this morning after reading a pretty interesting message. The person wanted to know, what is one of my taboo fantasies? Something I would do maybe only in an actual daydream of my own. Now, I don't know if they expected me to come up with something really shocking or really sexual or whatever else. Maybe this, hedonistic orgy, one of these festivals you get together with and everybody lives their best life for a while. But I had a walk to take after that, and while I was going, I really got to thinking about this one. Like, for today, what would be my no holds barred utopian thing? And I came up with having a bed out in like the middle of nowhere. Okay, let's make it a 4-poster bed. We'll put a white canopy on it, something that gives a bit of intimacy while not really blocking off the scenery. Okay? And I'm going to set this bed in a very quiet place. While I was on vacation, holiday, a while back, I had the pleasure of visiting this lake, a glacial lake, up the mountains that was so quiet. Now, I grew up in a rural area where you could pretty easily get away from the sounds of cars and people and so on. But it did not compare to this, to the way the silence felt. I've heard that there is a crater on, I think it's on Maui. That's one of the Hawaiian islands that has been dubbed the quietest place on earth. The sound level is about the same volume as you're breathing. It's 10 decibels. And since I've started this project, I've gotten pretty good at reading sound meters, so I know what 10 decibels happens to be. So this bed, it would be placed somewhere that quiet, with a guarantee of no interruptions at all. Something that, even though it goes against the definition of the word, is a shared solipsism. That the only thing, that you have direct access to, basically, is the contents of your own mind. And just because you see something, it doesn't mean it actually exists. People do see stuff. And indulging in that. So myself and whoever is with me, being this alone and detached, feeling that we're the only two people that exist. Okay, still with me? I know, it's not kinky yet. But then playing with it. For me, trance is very intimate. I somewhat recently read this actually very well written article about sleeping together. Sleeping is just about the most intimate thing you can do together. I'm going to argue it's more intimate than sex, because think about it, two people can meet, find themselves just wrapped up in this passion, have sex, and then kind of go on their way, right? But sleeping together without some kind of closeness, it seems strange, wrong. Like, pretend those two people in this throes of passion, fantastic sex, both fall asleep and wake up the next day. Most of the time, I think one or both of the people, they're basically ready to leave. Whatever drove them together for that sexual passion did not keep them cemented together for that intimacy of waking up together. And now, some people, they look forward to every night going to sleep with their partner or partners and having that close intimacy of, even before like your brain is fully awake, perhaps you're already reaching out to the other or others or whatnot in your bed, right? That instinctual closeness, knowing that they're there. And for me, with trance, with playing with maybe playing isn't the right word, but with using the erotic hypnosis, it is tapping into that energy, that sleep intimacy, plus some, right? Because those dreams that you're having, you're not conjuring them up all by yourself. That shared solipsism happens because I do have access to your mind, to your thoughts, to your emotions, to creating the experience that's going on. And you have that intimacy and that trust and that openness that we can just be the only two people. Now, because, it's not really like this big confession unless there's something else with it. And my big confession can't be, I just want to literally sleep with someone, right? How interesting would it be to have the trance, have the headspace sharing, the word runes and all of that bleed over, have those lines just so faint you can barely see them because of this period of being just two people alone in the world. How far could I nudge you? When I was looking up some information about sounds and silence and such, I always thought of, how they talk about the moon and being quiet and everything else. I didn't really think about the sounds that different objects make. But I was thinking, okay, here's this bed, middle of nowhere. We're pretending the food logistics don't count. We're going to fast for 3 days or 5 or whatever, right? There's water. Good enough. But I was thinking, I want silence, right? So it can't be by the beach. I don't want the waves doing their thing or anything like that. And I imagined there'd also be zero light pollution. So there we are, looking up at the stars. The sun and stars, they actually do make sounds. And it's very similar to bells, to like cathedral bells. So that's where by day 2, 3, whatever of this shared solipsism, where I would start to go. I would make sure that you could hear them, that you could hear the stars above us. And when daytime comes back around, we'll just go with silence, right? Or use the sun. But how amazing would that be to have your everyday world turned on its head? To feel like only you and I exist. And not only that, things you've never heard before or experienced in a certain way, like being able to taste the wind and feel colors as sensations, and over again being taken back down. And instead of using a session that's, based on this, and then we have a different session, and then yet a different session, a true recreating your memories, your thoughts, your feelings, your idea of reality completely. By taking you under, by forming it, speaking it, having you experience it, and continuing that story. I suspect I could get the right person to truly believe that only we existed. So for today's confession or story or whatever else of what would I do if I had no moral compass or no limitations or whatever else, that's actually what appeals to me today. Shared solipsism. Oh, and stars that sound like bells. Now it's your turn. Tell me, in this utopia setting, whatever yours looks like, and without using a stereotypical easy one, what would you do? What would you experience? What would you have? If you could change the world in whatever way, and have whatever experience, tell me what it is. And if you want to have that experience, if you believe that we could turn it into a session, let me know. If I do, then you'll get it for yourself, and it'll likely get shared out, but whatever is intimate to you will only go to you. That's it for today's musings. Now go ahead and be my muse.